Good day to you all. Good day to you all. Hello, how are you all doing? All right. Good day to you all, my wonderful children. How are you all doing? Hope you're keeping safe. Hope you're always washing your hands under running water with soap and afterwards applying sanitizer. And you've been going out with daddy and mommy wearing your nose mask. Please, it is very important to adhere strictly to all these rules, especially at this time, because the rate at which the coronavirus is being spread around is alarming. I pray we'll never be a partaker of this, we'll never contract the deadly virus in the mighty name of God, we pray. All right. Okay, welcome to yet another class with me, Mr. Ogunlaro. And the subject we're looking at today is home economics. Yes, I love this subject, home economics, because it's a practical subject that deals or talks about daily activities. Your cooking, the cooking you do in your house, how to take care of your surroundings and your environment, personal hygiene, what you should do as a boy or as a girl that is attaining puberty, that is experiencing changes in his or her body. All right, so let me not talk too much. Let us go straight into today's business. Today, like I said, we're looking at the subject home economics, and the topic we're looking at today is care of the hands, feet, hair, and nose. You see, very important. Now, these are very important part of our body that touches all other parts. For instance, your hands. Your hands, oh, be careful, little hands, what you touch. Oh, be careful, little hands, what you touch, what you touch. For the Father up above, He is looking down below. Oh, be careful, little hands, what you touch, what you touch. Right, you need to be very careful what you touch, especially at this time, because what you touch determines what you pass into your system. By, for instance, after touching a dirty surface, you don't have to touch your eyes. You don't have to touch your nose. You don't have to put your hands in your mouth. You shouldn't poke any part of your face with your hands unless you have thoroughly washed those hands under running water and with soap. So that is why this topic is coming at this time. It is the 6 weeks topic, and it's for primary 6, for pupils who are in year 6. And I said it is home economics. So as it is our usual practice that we do not just start teaching a subject until we have talked about the learning objectives, those things you are expected to have learned, or those things you are expected to learn during the lesson or at the end of the lesson. So let me take you through the learning objectives for this topic. So let's read together. Learning objectives, which are what you're expected to learn. At the end of this lesson, each of you should be able to list the functions of the hands, feet, and nose. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to tell me what function does your hands carry out, or what are your hands for, what are your feet for, what are your nose for. Are you getting my point? So at the end of the lesson, you should be able to tell us what each of these parts of your body do. Now, the next one, number 2, you should be able to explain how to take care of our hands, feet, and hair, and nose. Yes, you should be able to tell me how to take care of your nose. Do you poke your nose with slim, fat sticks, or do you mind the things that you allow go into your nose? For instance, you should be careful what you inhale, what you allow go into your nose. There are some irritating chemical substances that you should not inhale. You should not breathe into your system, because those chemicals are actually dangerous. So these are more we're going to talk about today. Number 3, You should be able to mention the materials used for hair care. You want to make your hair look shiny and black as mine. You want to find out what you do. Don't worry, I'll let you know in the course of this topic. So let's go into the subject and the topic in details. So right now, we want to first of all look at the functions of our hands. What are our hands meant for? Now, we do a whole lot of things with our hands. Can you start recounting? Yes? Tell me. Yeah, someone you like food, you like food. Someone just said we eat with our hands. Yes, true. Yes, because your hands go to your mouth often, often. Those of you who like to eat, you can't skip your meals for anything. You can't fast. Yes, your hands are meant for eating. Either you eat with your bare hands or you handle your cutlery with your hands. Is still the same thing. It still means you eat with your hands, either by your bare hands or handling your cutleries with your hand. So your hands are used for eating. Another one, your hands are used for carrying things. You carry things with your hands. Those are the functions of your. You carry one, I said, for eating. Second one, I'm saying your hands are used for carrying things. I'm here now, number one. Your hands are used for carrying things, a whole lot of things. Just carry your siblings. If you have a little baby at home, how do you carry him or her? Do you just use your head to carry? No, it's impossible. So you carry things with your hands. You carry baby, you carry objects, you carry loads with your hands. And number two rather, we walk with our hands. Now, that is why it is very important we protect this part of our body because it does a lot of things. They do a lot of things. These hands do a lot of things. Whoever's Whoever whose hands are amputated, that person will live like an handicap for his or her life, for the rest of his or her life. So you should protect yourself, make sure nothing happens to your hands. Because God forbid, you will never lose your hand. If anything happens to those hands, you cannot walk. All right? So you walk. If you're a pupil, you write with your hands, don't you? You handle your book with your hand. You handle your pen with your hand. If you do house chores, if you're the type who does house chores at home, that what that means is a portion of the work at home has been given to you. It could be sweeping of the floor, mopping of the floor, doing the dishes, that means washing the dishes, or sometimes it could be even doing laundry. Now, all of these house chores that I've mentioned, how do you do them? With your teeth? Hell no. With your nose? No. With your ears? No. You do them with your hands. If you want to sweep, you handle the broom or the broomstick with your hands. If you want to wash the dishes, you do that with your hands. If you want to mop the floor, you do that with your hands. There is virtually nothing that you want to do in life that you don't do with your hands. If you work in an office, you want to sign papers, you want to sign documents, you do that with your hands. If you want to count money, you do that with your hands. And if you are learning a vocation, if you're learning a vocation or you're learning any income yielding craft that we've talked about, like making of hats, making of pillow, armrest, making accessories, or what you call adornment, you get it? Making beads, all those adornments, you do these things with your hands. So one has to be very creative with your hands. This because your hands learn a lot of things. You should therefore take very good care of them. All right. So we work with our hands. Next, I've said we eat with our hands. Number four, for holding things. I already said that you handle a lot of things with your hands. So your hands is very, very vital. In fact, every part of your body is very, very vital because each of them play a vital role in the whole body system. Now, lastly, on the functions of our hands, your hands are for clapping. Your hands are for clapping. Your hands are for clapping. So if you're singing a chorus, like the one I just sang, hello, how you doing? Hello, how you doing? Is your mommy home? Is your daddy home? Hello, how you doing? Hello, how you doing? Now, I am playing to the rhythm of that song with my hands. I am making the clap with my hands. In your music class, you were taught beats and how to count the beats. You have 2/4, you have 4/4, like these are all beats in your music class. So how do you make this beat? With your hands. So you clap with your hands, you hold things with your hands, you eat with your hands, you work all kinds of work, all kinds of work. You do all kinds of work with your hands and you carry things with your hands. All right, so let's go to how to take care of our hands now. How do we take care of our hands? If I have said here that your hands are very important, you should protect them. Every part of your body is important. You should take good care of every part of your body because that's who you are. That's you. Your body makes up who you are. Okay? So let's quickly look at how we take care of our hands. The following are the ways to take care of our hands. Number one, it is very important you wash your hands regularly before eating and after eating. Wash your hands regularly before and after eating. Don't just go and dip those dirty hands of yours in your food without washing. You know what you have just done? If you go eat your food without washing them, you have transferred germs, unseen germs, from your hands, your fingertips, into the food you want to eat. Therefore, that food has now become contaminated, unsafe to eat. That food is now full of germs. So that is why you should always wash your hands before eating and after eating. Is that clear? Number two, you should wash your hands after using the toilet or touching dirt or animals. All right, I said it in the previous lesson when we learned about grooming and care of our body. After you must have touched dirty surfaces, after you must have gone to the toilet, in fact, right there in the toilet, there should be soap with which you can wash your hands so that as you're stepping out, you won't forget. Every time I school, I don't forget this. It has become part of me. It has become a ritual. There is no day I visit the toilet. Even the cleaners know, Mr. Ogularu, they've nicknamed me because I am always washing my hands. I'm so conscious of that fact. Even before coronavirus, even before coronavirus, it has become, and that is the ritual in my house. My children, my son and my daughter, they do that all the time. My daughter, that is even just a year plus, will tell you every time soap and water. She wants to wash her hands. So make it a ritual, make it a daily activity that you wash your hands after using the toilet or after you must have touched dirty surfaces or carry. Those of you that have pets at home, those of you that have dogs, that have cats, I'm not saying you shouldn't play with your pet, but after you are done playing with your pet, please have a bath and as well wash your hands thoroughly. All right. So last one on how to take care of our hands, make sure you trim or cut low your nails regularly. Let me tell you one thing. The challenge is this. If you don't cut low your nails, you find out that dirt easily gets stuck underneath your nails if they are long. You will see some black substances or brownish substances underneath your nails because they are long, and therefore there is room for those dirt to stick around. But if you cut them low, there is no way dirt or germs can get stuck in your fingernails. So now, let's now go to, now that we've talked about our hands and how to take care of our hands, now let's now go to an expert, a specialist, a doctor, a physician, whose job is to diagnose and to prefer treatment, give treatment to hand-related diseases or injury, is who we want to talk about now. And that person whose job is to assess, diagnose, and treat an injury and conditions is called orthopedic. So an orthopedic is a doctor who majors in assessing, diagnosing, and treating hand injuries. So doctors who are experts in assessing, diagnosing, and treating hand injuries and conditions are called who? Orthopedic. What did I say? Orthopedic. So for every part of our body, we have specialists who specializes in treating that part of the body. There's a doctor who specializes in treating the nose, the eyes, and the throat. They are called ENT doctors. Doctors for eyes, nose, and throat. So, and we'll get to that one, and I will tell you the name of that doctor. So the doctor who majors or specializes in assessing, diagnosing, and treating hand injuries and conditions is called an orthopedic. Orthopedic. All right. So now let's go to all the part of the body. Now, we want to look at our legs. You know, today we're considering care of the hand, leg, feet, and nose and our hair. I repeat, our hands, our feet, hair, and our nose. That's what we're looking at today. So the next thing we want to look at is the functions of the feet or our legs, because your legs carries your feet. Your feet are on your legs. Okay, so it is therefore reasonable for us to merge legs with feet. So let's look at the functions. So the following are the functions of our feet. The following are the functions of our feet. Number one, for walking, you walk with your feet or you walk with your leg. If you have legs, definitely you have feet on them. Therefore, you can walk on your legs. All right. Number two, we run, for running, dancing, and jumping. Dancing like this. Oh my God, I like to dance. Dancing is my hobby. Dancing, dance. So you dance with your legs, or you dance on your leg. You stand on your leg. You jump with your leg. You run with your leg. You don't fly, right? You jump with your leg. So the number three thing that you do with your leg is the weight of our body rests on our feet and legs. Haven't you known? Haven't you known? You've not noticed? Okay, if you don't know, your body weight rests on your legs. That is why you are often advised not to be overweight, not to have what we call obesity. Obesity are those who are blown up, who are now very big as a result of too much fatty food or as a result of not exercising their body. They just sit at a place. They eat there. They sleep. They wake up. So your weight, those people find it very difficult to walk long distances. They find it very difficult to walk long distances. If you're overweight, if you're big, you will notice that you can't walk long distances. The reason is that the whole weight of your body is resting on your leg. And that's why people who are overweight or people who are big often have rheumatism or pains around their thighs and leg. They'll keep complaining about, my leg aches, my thighs ache. The thigh is the upper part of your leg, your thigh, all right? Oh, my thigh aches, my legs ache, because they are big. So know that today, and that is why you should not be overweight, because if you do, the weight of your body is resting on your leg. So always work out, watch what you eat, watch what you eat, watch what you eat. Don't eat anyhow, and don't eat junks. Eat healthy food. Eat healthy food. It's very important for you to eat healthy food. So eat healthy food. Number four, the function of our leg or our feet is for balance. Yes, if you're about to sleep now, if you're about to sleep, you're just struggling to get your balance, the thing that comes to your mind is just to position your leg in such a way that it gives you strength or holds you firmly to the ground. It is your leg, not your hand, because your hand is far from the ground. But the thing that is so close to the ground that holds you firmly to the ground is your leg. So you walk on your leg. Okay? So these are the functions of your leg. Now let's now look at, if our legs do all of these things, it is therefore very necessary for us to take good care of our legs, just as we have learned to take good care of our hands, because every part of our body matters. Now let's see how to take care of our feet. How to take care of your feet. How do you take good care of your feet? Now, there are several foot infection or feet infections. You have outlet foot, and I think I only know outlet foot. Don't mind me, I'm not a doctor. So we have outlet foot sometimes. Oftentimes that happened to me, and that's as a result of maybe exposing myself to too much water, or I don't know. Now, quickly, let's look at this. The following are the ways to take care of our feet. Number one, wear dry and clean shoes with socks. Make sure that you always wear dry and clean shoes, not wet shoes. If you wear wet shoes, your shoes will stink. Many of you, I know you, yes. You want me to start mentioning names? When you just take off your shoes in class, oh, the whole class begin to smell like a dead rat has been killed and dumped in one part of the class. It's wrong. It's because your shoes are wet and you don't wear socks. So wherever or whenever you want to wear your shoes, it is very important that you wear socks. And if you notice that your shoes are wet, it is very important. Sorry, pardon me, let me take water a little. All right, pardon me. It is very important for you to sun dry them. It means put them in the sun to dry out before you wear the shoes. Is that okay? So, number two, trim or cut your toenails. Yes, there are nails on your toes and they grow, especially in cold season. Your hair and your nails grow rapidly in cold season. We are in the raining season now and it's cold. So you notice that your nails and your hair grow rapidly more than in dry season. So cut or trim your toenails. Number three, avoid putting your feet or your legs in dirty water. Some of you do that on your way home. On your way home, especially when it rains on a raining day, you just like walking into every pond or every water settlement or water that gathers somewhere. It is wrong. You know why? Because those waters are unclean. They contain germs. Some of them have leeches. Do you know what leeches are? Leeches are organisms. They are blackish in color. When they get stuck to your skin, they get stuck to your skin and start sucking your blood. They use them in laboratories for experiment purpose and all sorts. So, I mean, there are leeches in those dirty water. So please don't walk barefooted in dirty water, and don't walk barefooted is wrong. So that's number 4. Don't. That's supposed to be don't, not do. Excuse me. Let me correct that now. It is don't walk don't walk barefooted. That means, what that means is that you should not go out without your shoes on. You should not go out without your flip-flop on. You get that? So don't walk without your shoes on or without your flip-flop on. Now, let's go to the next thing. How do we care for our hair? I told you in the beginning of this class that we're going to be looking at the functions of our hands, the functions of our legs or feet, the functions of our hair, the function of our nose, how to take care of them. All right, so let's look at our hair. Yes, do you like my hair? Yes, I like my hair. You should also like your own hair. So the functions of our hair. The following are the ways to take care of our hair. How do we take care of our hair? Number 1, wet your hair with water and wash with shampoo. Yes, I was advising someone the other day, especially this goes out this goes out to the boys, the male. You notice that when you use the same soap you bathe with to wash your hair start turning brown. You start noticing brownish color on your hair. Now, the reason is because that soap contains some chemicals that are not healthy for your hair. The best soap to wash your hair with is shampoo. That's what I use to wash my hair. Is shampoo, not the same soap you use for bathing. Don't use the same soap you use for bathing to wash your hair, okay? So that's why when you wash your hair with shampoo, it gives your hair the nourishment, the nutrients it needs, and it nourishes your hair by giving it very good black coloration. So always wet or wash your hair with shampoo. Number 2, rinse your hair with water, clean water. Rinse your hair after you have applied the shampoo and you scrub very well underneath the scalp. Make sure your hands reaches down beneath the hair, underneath the scalp, to wash very well to prevent dandruff and lice. Do you even know not lice? There are some tiny insects that stays on underneath your hair and your scalp and feed on your skin. They suck blood. So rinse your hair with clean water. Number 3, after you must have rinsed your hair with clean water, dry your hair with clean towel. Dry your hair with clean towel. Number 4, apply hair cream or conditioner. For women, they use conditioner. After they have shampoo and washed their hair thoroughly, clean with clean water, towel dry, they apply conditioner. But for we, the male, we don't use conditioner. Just use any favorite hair cream, apply it. So that nourishes your hair and give it this shining, bouncing, dark coloration. All right. So apply cream. Then number 5, comb or brush your hair. If your hair is as full or long as mine, you need a comb. You can't brush it. So comb your hair, or if your hair is low, you're having a low cut on, not afro like myself. If you have a low cut on, it is advisable you brush it with a brush. The same goes for the female. You need to comb your hair or brush it. Number 6, weave or plait your hair if you are a female. Yes, it is very untidy. It is unhygienic to come to school as a female with your hair not braided. It's wrong. You should come to school with braided hair, neatly braided hair, not rough hair, okay? Some of you just come to school with your hair tangled up. No. So if you should plait your hair or weave your hair if you're a female. And if you're a male, you should cut your hair neatly. For whatever style you want to have on, make sure your hair is neatly cut. Don't keep rough hair. It makes you look untidy and unkept. And looking untidy and unkept doesn't portray you as a good pupil going to an international standard school like ours. God First Children International School is an international school. And so going about carrying on, looking unkept, carrying untidy hair doesn't portray you as a good pupil of God First Children International School. So please, make sure your hair is kept neat, tidy. Don't look unkept. So the next one, like I said, cut your hair low. If you're a female and if you feel you want to cut your hair low. Make it look neat. All right, now let's go to hair infection. How many of you know that you will have hair infection? Yes. But before we go there, let's look at types of hair. Before we go to hair infection, let's look at types of hair. The types of hair, we have 4 types of hair. We have long hair, we have short hair, we have dry hair, and we have oily hair. I think I have 2 of this. I have long and oily hair. I have long and oily hair. Why some people have short or dry hair. So any of these 4 types of hair, your hair might be long, your hair might be short, your hair might be dry or oily. Now let's go to hair infections. I just said our hair often catches infection, and it's as a result of our uncleanliness, our unhygienic way of living, because we don't take good care of our hair. We don't wash thoroughly as we ought to. We don't use shampoo. We don't apply cream. We don't brush well. So the following are hair infections. The following are hair infections. The following are hair infections. Number 1, ringworm. Now, the one Yoruba calls lapa lapa. Some people will call it ekusa. No, don't say it. So it's ringworm. So it is whitish, round. It is round in shape and whitish in color. So it's often this infection often affects children, even the adult. If you don't take good care of your hair, whenever you go to have your hair cut, you will see this whitish round pattern on your hair, and and you have to apply, some medication for it to be cured. So that's ringworm. Another one is bumps. This usually happens to male at the lower parts of the head, right here, at the back of your neck, the back of your neck over here. So you see them, they like boil. Yes, they just form like boil and tough and disfigured your neck, the back of your neck. It looks ugly, doesn't look good. All right, so that's bumps. So you need to, in order for you not to have any of this hair infection, you need to take good care of your hair. Another one is dandruff. What is dandruff? It's also whitish substance. That one is like grains of gari. You know gari? It's like someone pouring gari or powder in your hair and that now settles underneath your scalp in your hair. And whenever you comb or brushes your hair, you see this whitish things falling off your hair. That is dandruff. It also as a result of unhygienic way of living. There's no way you take good care of your hair like mine. I'm always washing my hair with shampoo. I apply cream. It will always look bouncy and shining and good looking. So if you don't take good care of your hair, you will have any of these infections. And lastly, the 4th one is lice invasion. Lice invasion. That means these tiny insects in your hair, they stick to your scalp and suck your blood. You have seen a student combing his hair on a white paper, and you see these lice falling off on the paper. You see these lice falling off on the paper, and they're moving. They're moving. How can that be? Why should lice be on your hair? So, but if you take good care of your hair, you won't have any of these infections. Now, I've told you that a doctor who specializes in analyzing, diagnosing, and treating hand injuries is called an orthopedic. Also, we have hair doctor. Yes, we have hair doctor. Yeah, a doctor who specializes in diagnosing and treating of hair and scalp infections or disease is called a trichologist. What did I say? A trichologist. So a trichologist is a doctor who specializes in diagnosing and treating your hair and scalp infection. You know, that's a trichologist. So a trichologist is a doctor who specializes in diagnosing, treating of hair infections. All right. So a trichologist. Don't you forget a trichologist. I will ask you all of these things in my next class. I'll say who is a trichologist, who's an orthopedic, and I'll also ask you who is a dermatologist. I taught who a dermatologist is in my previous lesson. I said a dermatologist is a doctor who specializes in diagnosing and treating of skin infection. All right, now let's move quickly. Let's go to the next thing. Let's go to nose. And nose, also very important. Functions of the nose. What do you do with your nose? All right, there are two major functions of the nose. There are two major things we do with our nose. So we're going to be looking at it now. The functions of the nose are as follows. Number one, breathing. We breathe in and out with our nose. We breathe in, inhale, exhale. So we breathe in and out with our nose. We also smell with our nose. We can smell things with our nose. That is another function of our nose. Now, how do we take care of our nose? How do we take care of our nose? We take care of our nose by doing the following. We take care of our nose by doing the following. One, avoid inhaling smokes and fumes. Inhaling smokes and fumes. Do not stay where a bush is burning and the smoke is thick. Don't stay there. That smoke can kill you. That smoke can get you injured. It can choke you up. To be choked up with smoke means someone is finding it difficult to breathe. So do not avoid inhaling smoke. Avoid breathing in smoke or fumes. Even your spray, you shouldn't wear your perf so much. You shouldn't wear so much perf. You just, do a little, wear a little, not bait yourself with the spray. Just a little, all right? And again, you should stay away where insecticide has just been sprayed. For those of you who use insecticide at home, like Baygon, Raid, Sniper, and the rest of them, the moment that substance or that chemical is sprayed in the house, make sure you lock everywhere and leave. Do not stay in the house. It kills. It can destroy the lungs. As soon as those chemicals are sprayed, leave the house. Then you can now come back, open everywhere, and still stay out. Allow the chemical to escape, to leave before you now go into your house. Please, I beg you. It's very important. Another way we take care of our nose is do not clean your nose with your fingers. Use cotton buds. Cotton buds have these whitish, soft cottons. So it doesn't do damage to your nose or your ears. So you can use cotton buds to clean your nose, especially when you have a cold. When you have a cold and you're trying to take out some of these mucor from your nose, it is good for you to use a cotton bud, not a stick, not your hand. Don't poke your nose with your hands. All right. Number 3, cover your nose ridge with handkerchief when sneezing to avoid spreading diseases. Like what is going on right now. If you're in a public space, even at home, and you want to sneeze, Achoo! You either sneeze into your elbow like this, sneeze into your elbow like this, or you get an handkerchief and sneeze into it. Or you have your nose mask like mine. Let me get my nose mask. Okay, it's not around. You put your nose mask, you wear your nose mask around your nose, and you sneeze in it. Now, let me tell you the danger you cause by sneezing out publicly. If you sneeze out publicly like this without covering your nose, achoo! You know what happened? You're releasing thousands of germs and viruses into the air. For instance, if you are infected with the coronavirus and you are sneezing out publicly without covering your nose, you are transferring the virus, you are releasing the virus into the air, and the next person close to you will catch it, will contract it. So that's the danger. So please, I beg of you, if you must sneeze, do it in your elbow. If you don't have a tissue paper or you don't have an handkerchief, you can do it in your elbow. Or if you're wearing your nose mask, don't open the nose mask and sneeze. Achoo! No. Keep it still on, then sneeze. That prevents the other person, because you have to think about the other person. You have to think about the other person. So that prevents the other person from contracting whatever virus or germs that is you are releasing, that is coming out of your nose. Is that clear? It's very important. So now let's go to a doctor. I said this earlier on, that I said I was going to keep it. Since we know the doctor that treats the skin is called a dermatologist, the doctor that specializes and treats injuries related to hands is called an orthopedic. And we also know that a doctor that treats that treats air infections is known as a trichologist. It is also necessary for us to know a doctor that specializes in the treatment of the ear, the nose, and the eye. I told you the other time, and that doctor is called an otolaryngologist. An otolaryngologist. So a doctor who specializes in diagnosis, treatment, and management of diseases and disorder of the ear, nose, and throat is called an otolaryngologist. An otolaryngologist. So an otolaryngologist, sorry. An otolaryngologist. An otolaryngologist is someone who studies otolaryngology. All right? The study of the nose, the ear, and the throat. All right? So they are often called ENT doctor. They are often called ENT doctors. So they are called ENT doctors. So a doctor who major in the treatment, in diagnosis and treatment of the ear, the nose, the nose, the eye, and the throat is called an otolaryngologist. Is that clear? Now we've come to the end of today's class, and I hope you have learned to take good care of your hands, your hair, your nose, and your legs. Please, it's very important because this part of your body carry out a lot of functions on a daily basis. So I quickly recap. I said a doctor that treats the skin is called a dermatologist. A doctor that treats air infection is called a trichologist. A doctor that treats hand injuries and infection is called an orthopedic, while a doctor that majors and specializes in the treatment and diagnosis of the eyes, the nose, and the throat is called an otolaryngologist. And that brings us to the end of today's class. Until I come your way again, thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for doing all the assignments online. And thank you for studying. All right. If you're not there, I won't be here doing what I'm doing. Thank you for accepting me into your house. And please remember to tell all of those your friends that are yet to come online to access and benefit from these good classes you are enjoying. Please tell them it's just a token. For primary 6 is 10,000 naira. For lower primary and nursery is just 8,000 naira. Why? For the secondary is just 15,000 naira. So tell your friends that are not yet keyed into this teaching online, because you can't stay blank. The more you stay idle, the more you forget a whole lot of things that you have learned. And your exams are fast approaching. I beg of you, please read, read, and read. And as you read, the Lord will grant you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, take care of yourself. Keeping safe. Uh, Remember to always wash your hands under running water with soap and apply hand sanitizer. And if you must go out with your parents, make sure you're wearing a nose mask. Till I come your way again, I remain Mr. Ogunlaro. Love you. Bye for now. Gracias.